Well, it's inevitable. I'm gonna talk about this film, so let's talk about it. Welcome to appabendyt's Uncapped, a series of reviews by yours truly. Today's review is gonna be on Avengers Endgame, the latest installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and a direct continuation of last year's Avengers Infinity War. But before we get to the Endgame, I want to say huge thanks for liking and sharing my videos, subscribing and following me on social media, and for supporting me on Patreon, PayPal, and many other means, links down below. Also, huge thanks to Shinigami, Gyogyo, and Kuro for the pledges and donations. You guys are fantastic. So Avengers Endgame starts off right after Infinity War, which I assume most of you already know the ending. Otherwise, what are you doing? Using the Infinity Stones, Thanos managed to wipe out half of the population, so it's up to the rest of the remaining Avengers to find out how to bring back those who have been wiped out. Now let's get this out of the way first, as some of you might be concerned about this because the internet never stops talking about how much they hate Captain Marvel and Brie Larson. Did Captain Marvel ruin the film? Oh, without spoiling anything, she got sacked, like, real hard. She didn't ruin the film because the film isn't about her. The film is about the main cast of the Avengers, primarily Tony and Steve. So if you're worried about that, just go and see the film. She's actually mostly off Earth, so there's that. And now let's get to the actual film. To best describe Avengers Endgame, I would like to tell you about sandcastles. Avengers Infinity War is like seeing that sandcastle in all its glory being destroyed and reduced to just regular sand. Avengers Endgame is like seeing people rebuilding that sandcastle back to its original glory. So now let me ask you this. Which process is more fun to watch? The destruction or the reconstruction? I think you get where I'm going here. Endgame is not as good as Infinity War in a sense that it doesn't get into the action until later. Also, the plot is really stupid. I won't spoil what they do to find the Infinity Stones, but it is really dumb, and the film acknowledges that it is really dumb, and yet they just go along with it. I'm not complaining. I had a lot of fun with it. The film has a lot of fun with it. Everyone has a lot of fun with it. It's just a tad bit unsatisfying. I want the characters to struggle a bit more, or at least show the struggle more. While it is really damn stupid, I gotta give major props for giving an excellent emotional impact, both on the happy parts and also the sad parts. Thanks to the snap, the Avengers suffered quite a major loss, and the scenes where they're either mourning or trying to rebuild themselves from the ground up is really sad and depressing. The scenes early on with Hawkeye is pretty tear-jerking and emotional. When the film goes away from the depressing scenes, the happy and comedic scenes are pretty funny too, and the Avengers have never been this human in terms of the characterization. I am frankly astonished by how 3 hours have passed since I stepped on the theater, and never once it felt like a bore. 3 hours of pure fan service galore, with a plot so ridiculously stupid, and characters that I've been rooting for since forever, just duking it out and trying to rebuild what was already been lost. And all of this comes down into a glorious third act that is nothing but pure bliss. It is straight up one of the best third act in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I had a lot of fun with it. There's really nothing much else to say on Endgame other than it's a ridiculously stupid but really damn fun, entertaining, and also really emotional superhero film, especially if you've been following the entire thing all the way up to this point. The story isn't exactly going to wow everyone, but I do love the characters and their interactions and their struggles in rebuilding what was previously destroyed. I do feel that the film has quite a lot of fan service, but as a fan, I am serviced, and I can't exactly complain about that. I will agree that the film has tons and tons of flaws, but I'm prepared to overlook them because I had fun in the end, and that's what matters to me. I'm not gonna give recommendations here because most of you who have already seen Infinity War will definitely see this film just to continue what was left. Okay, movie done. I'm pretty busy, but I have one more Uncapped incoming on a really interesting Persona clone, and we're gonna talk about something woke in our regularly scheduled program. Or just regular program, I guess.